Good morning, guys. Good morning. Congrats to all the people that attended the session last night. We had an amazing session. If you missed it, we will put it for our premium members. It will be up sometime today. It will be uploaded on YouTube. And but see, those sessions, guys, try attending them because in the entire team participates. And I was very impressed by Bucky sharing some amazing knowledge, right? And then Yash helped him, and G Money was on there, so asked some great questions. RD, right? A bunch of you guys, right? So thank you for joining. And so today we have SPX, some levels that have changed a little bit, and I'm just gonna go over them quickly. Yesterday was a very neutral day. It was a very, very neutral day, right? We were just holding the support, and then we were unable to get through the resistance. We were right in the middle of this thing. So if you guys can just see this zone, I'll just draw it. It was a very neutral day, and just like the gamma also says, right? It was very neutral here, okay, based on this little trend. It's just stuck in the middle right now. But what do our levels tell us now, backed by data? First, we'll go over those. First, we have right now SPX is currently trading at, well, once it opens, nearly somewhere around 44.50. So 44.50 first will act as support plus resistance, whether we're up or down at the open, right? And then we have, if we do shift to the upside, I'll have some comments for you guys after. If we do shift to the upside, we have 44.70, we have 44.83, we have 4,500, and 4,500 is going to be a very solid resistance area. All right, there hasn't been much call buying going on, right? Usually when if we're to see a rally, hedge funds or market makers, there will be big blocks of calls that will be bought, and we have not seen those yet. All right, and that's why yesterday, somebody asked me, do we rally tomorrow? I did not have the answer yesterday, but today I may have an idea that we will not rally too much. The highest number that will rally is 4,500. However, if we rally above 4,500 and we take out 42, 45.20 plus hold, then that suggests higher, all right, towards 4,600 end of the week, all right. But is that going to happen? I'm not sure. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, we might see some buying. But for today, 4,500 will act as a solid resistance. At 4,500 or 44.48 SPY, equivalent to there, is a good chance to scalp some shorts. All right. So if you're scalping and you're watching, you can see this $4,500 level on SPX, and that's a good time to grab some puts. It might give you a 15-20 point down, at least in my opinion, for a nice little scalp on SPY or SPX, whatever you want to choose. And then to the downside, obviously we have 44.50 is the level. It happens to the volatility trigger along with 44.70. And then to the downside, we have all the way towards 44.42, 4400, and then obviously 43.50, and then all the way towards 4,000. All right, that's the downside. So 4,400, if SPX gets to 4,400, right, roughly around right here, this will be a solid support level, right, just near the closing of this wick on 14th Feb on Monday. This is a very strong support level to play a bounce towards 44.20. That 20-point bounce alone can make your entire day if you wait for the proper setups. All right, so 4,500 short at this level for some points down for a scalp, or 4,400 in between. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a gambler's bet, to be honest. All right, so that's SPX for you guys. And what else we have? Okay, pretty much covered. The gamma is very straightforward today. Jay Yang, you asked to go over the gamma report one day, right? So maybe let's do it for Friday. So the gamma that we'll get on Friday morning, I'll probably spend more time on gamma, and then we'll go over line by line, and then we'll see on SPX and how that basically lines up, right? And then we'll see how Friday plays out. All right. So Friday I think will be better. Today there's not much except they have given us, right, which I just pretty much covered. All right. The only hint they gave us for Friday that there's a lot of heavy puts that have been bought, right? A high open interest in puts that may need to be closed, and they might fuel a rally or might give us a little direction. So we'll see what happens on Friday. But today is very straightforward, very simple. Pay attention to the gamma, read it 1-2 times. You might get some pickups on place. And we had some earnings, so let's go over the earnings. Shopify. KB, you asked why is it going down. I still need to look at in the earnings because I believe they were pre-market, not enough time. They beat their earnings. There was some growth, but the only thing here is a lot of these stocks, earnings, if they don't give good guidance, so I just need to know what they said on the earnings call, right? We'll have some comments and we'll see. But This support level, which we drew, a couple of days back over the weekend, we posted this. This is a very strong support level, and it looks like they're going to come and test this $700 level. All right, so support around 700, 800. So I believe we're gonna see. So I'll go on the weekly because I think weekly we might have the 200-day moving average lower. Yep, and there it is. So on the weekly, I think what's going to happen is that they're going to try bringing it down to the weekly 200 moving day average on Shopify, which happens to be 697. So by the time it gets there, I think 700 will be tested, and there's a good possibility that Shop, see, something that goes up like from $200 to 1700 is going to come down also, right? You guys need to expect it. It's not just going to keep on going up. Like on equity alone, Shop went over 1,000% in like less than 15, 16 months. Okay. And so Amazon also before the 2000 bubble, Amazon went to $100 and $100. From 100 it came down to $10. All right, it came all the way from 100 to $10, which is a big deal, and that's Amazon. And then from 10 it rallied all the way back to where 3,000 plus today. And this pattern gave it away. A weekly nice little bear flag here, broke down, nice little weekly bear flag, and looks like it's going to break down here. And now we have the support at the 200-day moving average, which is 697. So watch for 700 on Shop. 700 if Shop gets it, which I think is going to get given the market conditions. So 700 is where you'd want to play a bounce on Shop towards 750. You can even do vertical call spreads here, right? As long as once it gets to 700, you can do vertical call spreads, something like this, just to double your money. As long as you can buy the 690 calls, right, and sell $700 call, and as long as by the expiry or before Shop stays above 700 calls, you double your money. Right, that's 100% move. All right, you double your money pretty much. And if Shop gets to 680 by any chance, it breaks below for a stronger score. So 650, 680, 660, you can buy the 650 calls and sell the 670 or 680s. Be even more sure, because likely the Shop gets above 700 then for a bounce, and it holds for a few days, around that level before it breaks down further. All right, so vertical call spreads are in play here if Shops breaks down further. Failure to reclaim 800 today. If Shop stays below 800 and the market is weak, this thing is going to dump more. Just know this. All right, but it's going to be opening at a strong support level. They might even buy it back up towards 850 today. All right, so keep an eye on Shop. I don't know what it's going to do. I'm just going to stay out. I'm going to let it settle. I will just wait until a 200 MA touch on the weekly, and then maybe try to play the bounce. UPST was up, I think, almost 50 points yesterday. Or 40 plus, and is down 20 points from the highs. All right, and UPST also today, this is a weekly chart. I'll just put the daily chart. This actually looks like a good chart. I mean, all charts look like this. Shop looked similar, but Shop is down, UPST is up. Personally, if UPST gets to 140 today, I would probably short, to be honest, because the moves we've seen in the market lately. So if UPST pops to 140 and comes below 135, it's likely going to fade the move, in my opinion. All right, the resistance is here all the way towards 150, right? In case if the market stays strong, we rally, then it might see a move up. But in the coming days, I do expect lower on UPST. That's just the market trend. That's how they have been moving these stocks. So don't get caught buying UPST to the long side just today alone. It's not enough. I know it's up a lot in earnings, but that does not mean that it's going to keep on going up. So just don't get caught in there. Okay, it has a lot more to prove, a lot more basing and setup to do. All right, the stock fell from 400 back to 100, below 100, right? This is very dangerous. So don't expect a V-shaped recovery on names like this. They sold it off 75% from the highs. All right, just with this $20 gap up, don't become bullish all of a sudden, right? They will trap you here, and they'll bring this below $80 also, right? It's a possibility based on the trends and based on this chart. I can just tell you right now. Okay, so it's up on earnings, great, but what happens now in the next 1-2 days, we'll see what happens. RBLX, man, such a disappointment. Whoever was in, if any, I don't think anybody bought in our position, but Nancy Pelosi had Google, RBLX, Micron, and CRM, 4 names. I think she had one more. From those, the only one that worked so far was Google, if she sold, right? CRM has not worked. It only broke below for now. That's cheap in the back that you guys can look at, by the way. And but Micron kind of worked, is holding strong. For Roblox, man, this was a very nice bear flag, which just broke down and it's at the $58. If Roblox is unable to hold 58, this thing is going to go to 50, 40, followed by 30. And trust me, it will happen. They're going to punish these stocks, all the stocks that went up. Look what happened to Facebook. Who expected Facebook to come back from 370 now trading near $200? It's down almost 50%. Snap from 80 to 30 bucks. It's insane. So know these things, understand this market. That's the reason, I personally see at a bigger level, macro level, in March that we probably had lower on the big tech as well. And when big tech goes up, that's when the market is going to be in turmoil, and that's when that's when more fear is going to kick in, and that will be the time to start buying the markets in April and May. When more people are going to be selling, they'll be scared, and I don't know if that's going to happen. This is my own little prediction, right? Just by looking at the monthly chart, and then we start end the year strong, maybe. Okay. So RBLX also down on earnings, and I think their earning calls is going on right now, and it just keeps dumping. TTD, complete premium burn, right? A chart looks attractive, but complete premium burn. If it opens sideways the long way it holds here, if it gives a reversal, I'll probably take puts on this name in the coming days, as long as it does not move higher. All right. Again, needs to see the earnings. If it holds above 80, then that will be strength. Anything under 80, the longer it sets up here, and we see the break below of this 14th February candle or 11th Feb, is likely going to go test 60 and 50 again. Okay. Facebook. This name right here is right as support, right as support, and now we just see, is it able to hold this zone all the way towards 200, and 200 will be a very strong support on Facebook personally. Next support all the way to $200 level. If you follow our charting sessions on the weekend, which I posted these charts in the group. And support on the weekly, we clearly have 200. We broke down. This selling was not good, obviously, on a lot of volume. Now we want to see, does it hold the $200 level? Now pay attention to one more thing here. I went over shop, the 200 MA bounce, right? I went over that on the weekly, right? So here, basically, Facebook, when it hit 200 MA on the weekly, it gave a nice little bounce of 10 points. It wasn't a big bounce, it gave. But it broke right through 200 MA on the weekly, wasn't able to hold. So on Shopify, same thing can happen if they sell the stock. Know these things, it can even go to 500, 400. It's possible, trust me. Okay, but Facebook $200 will be a psychological number, and if it gets to 200, you might get a $3-4 bounce where you can play calls. But the week, there's a good chance they might pin this at 200, because 200 put will have a lot of open interest, in my opinion, for Friday. So that I'll go over, and then Friday we'll know if they're going to pin 200 or hold lower, or if they're going to go back up. All right. And so far, market does not have any positive headlines. There's a lot of negativity, and they're just playing with the markets. Google, also after announcing a split, nothing crazy here. And I think the weekly just holding on to the 50 MA. If this breaks, it's likely going to come and test this trend line in the coming weeks, which will give us 2,400, 2,500 on Google, in my opinion. Right? There's nothing in the market that says it's going to go higher right now. Like I don't have any catalysts. I don't have any news. Nothing. Today we do have FOMC. So I'm gonna go over some strangle plays that we can possibly do, around 12. Maybe I'll do one early in the day. Let's see. All right. So because we might have some volatility, but Google under 2,800 is weak. Next, 2,600 is major support. Break of 2,600, we might get 2,500 on Google, which sets up a nice little pickup for May, June for earnings. For a split play. All right. Microsoft also we went over. I'm holding some puts here. First support is here. There's a weekly chart. Once it breaks below 288 on the weekly, and it's going to be a fast flush if it does, I do see this zone, which is roughly 285, 270. And then if the market is even more weak, it might even come below all the way towards 240. Like slow grind, and by then 200 MA on the weekly will catch up, and then somewhere around there it'll bounce sometime late this year, and then we will see a nice little uptrend. But Microsoft, I don't think it takes out 310, 315 anytime soon. I really don't think so. If it takes out 315, 314 and holds above it, only then I may see some upside. Otherwise, I see downside, and then we see what happens. Right now, it's just holding 300, and that's it. Any other chart? Nothing else, right? Well, guys, I think that's it. And Amazon, guys, I think is a short bucky. I agree with you. As soon as Amazon holds under 3,100 or 2,950, I think we can grab some 2,800 puts a week or two out. And this likely on the weekly also wants to tag a 200 moving day average, right? And same with Apple. Focus on the weekly charts. Apple's probably going to target the 50 MA first, and then if it holds 50 MA, the market is strong, it'll probably reverse. So 50 and 200 MA averages, you guys want to keep an eye on right now, and 200 MA on macro levels, right? Those will be magnets for the stocks. All right, this is what you guys want to see on the micro level, and this will help. All right, every now and then these moving averages get tagged, like on the weekly they'll get tagged, and then we see what happens. All right, so you want to pay attention to these levels, 50-day average and 200. Thank you guys. Today's Wednesday. We have FOMC at 2 o'clock. It is a volatile day today in the markets as per the data. Let's see how much volatility we get. Be on the right side, stop out if you have to, and take into consideration some of the tips that Bucky gave yesterday. All right, those are very helpful on the 1 hour and 2 hour charts. God bless. See you guys back in the chat.